Good evening, everybody, and welcome in. Well, it's not the weekend anymore, but it doesn't change the fact that we still have some fantastic racing for everybody here this evening. It's Monday. We got the Monday woes. Some of us are fine, some of us are down. That's alright. Some good old hold hardy racing will make everybody smile before the end of their evenings here today. So, welcome in. Presented by Flat Out Racing North America, ladies and gentlemen. Sponsored by GTR Simulators and Apex Racing Team. Both those links provided on the GT45 Gaming Facebook in the pinned comments below. If you want to find out more about what both these guys do and have to offer out there for everybody today, just head on over and hit that link. GTR Simulators is a sim racing rig company. They have some great stuff here available in North America, and Apex Racing does have some swag available for sale just for anybody to buy as well. So, you interested in either one of those things? Just follow up on those links over on the Flat Out Racing North America YouTube, ladies and gentlemen. We also have the GTR Simulator link there as well. We're really close to 100 subscribers over on the Flat Out Racing North America YouTube. If you want to help out Flat Out, head on over to YouTube, search Flat Out Racing North America, and give them a big time sub. Much love if you do. We do appreciate it if you have already. Welcome to the family. Welcome to the community. So, we are here for our pro division this week. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, the pros are back. So, a little recap on what happened last week is round 4 ran. There were some extreme issues with the lobby conditions in that particular race. After some considerable consideration, league officials have opted to rerun round 4 at the end of the season. So, round 4 technically didn't happen. Round 5 did happen last night, ladies and gentlemen, and we are here to bring that broadcast to you today. As you can see, it was ran at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, and again, ladies and gentlemen, it didn't go off without a hitch. It did have its issues in the lobby. We may see it on the broadcast, we may not. Just depends if we catch it at the right time or not. But we do have the update coming this week, so everybody's got their fingers crossed that we can just get back to focusing on the racing and not trying to figure out how to get all our drivers on track without issues in the races. So, that's a little bit about what happened to our pro lobby last weekend. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. That's why we didn't have a broadcast for a pro division last week, but we are back this week, and it's a smaller field, just 10 drivers here today. But I mean, it is what it is. Sometimes the cars just don't make it on track, folks, and it doesn't change the fact that we should see some really incredible racing from the pro division. Again, this division this season, from top to bottom, qualified like it was 7/10 of a second apart from each other. So 16 drivers qualifying 7/10 of a second apart from each other before the season started, and almost every week in qualifying, these guys are within a second of each other from top to bottom of the grid as well. So always makes for good, close, interesting racing when you have a field that tightly packed. We got Stefan up in the house saying, "Go Corey!" THG's Corey, ladies and gentlemen. Chantel coming in with the follow as well. Much love. Not sure if that was right when we went live or if it was a little bit after the broadcast last night, but much love. Welcome to the family. Welcome to the community again. Um, strategy. So, Interlagos, 30 laps, racing medium and racing soft tires are required to be used by all drivers on the field. They do have to use one set of each. No required amount of tires that are allowed to be used. No mandatory pit stops or pit windows, so to speak. Obviously, with having to use 2 compounds of tires, it does mean we're going to see at least 1 pit stop in the race. And of course, fuel is going to be a factor here as well. So 3 times fuel and 4 times tire. Other way around, 3 times tire, 4 times fuel, ladies and gentlemen, pardon me, for this race. So every time the drivers go around the racetrack one time, they're using 3 laps worth of tires and 4 laps worth of fuel. So strategy is going to come into play. A one-stop strategy, you'll see anywhere between 15 to 18 laps on medium tires, and then you'll see anywhere between 12 to 15 laps on the softs to finish out the race. Two-stop strategy, which is the other strategy that could be at play here tonight, is a 10-10-10 split, so to speak, in a 30-lap race. So you'll see 10 softs, and 10 mediums, or you'll see 10 mediums, 10 softs, or you'll see 10 softs, 10 mediums, 10 softs. Some form of that variation. So far this week, the one stop proving to be extremely dominant. So we'll have to see what our pro division does here tonight as far as strategy goes and pit strategy goes. So we won't have a qualifying run for you guys tonight because this is, of course, ran last night. We are bringing this to you via a replay here, but we are still producing the commentary for all 5 divisions here. So I hope everybody enjoys. And let's go through our pro list real quick before we kick this thing off because I got a couple of minutes to play with here yet. So we have Apex Badass, who is in the grid. Zonders, which I don't think is in the grid tonight. Ghost 45 is in the grid. Magic Man is in the grid. Method is also on grid. Doug Barrow is out of the series due to personal reasons, so we hope that he's well and everything is fine over there in the United Kingdom with Mr. Doug Barrow. So we won't be seeing him, I think, any further in the season, which is unfortunate. He's a very good racer. But hey, we got to put real life first, ladies and gentlemen. So we just wish him well and hope to see him soon. We have Bar 27 on track tonight. Cheater Tom as well on track tonight. Ricardo Pickles is on track tonight. Jay Stewart is not here tonight. So that's interesting. KCR Nieder also not in the race tonight. Knudsen not here. Tattooed Freak not here. Pork, I believe, is not in either. Yoni retired from the series. And Serturo is in the field here tonight. So, 10 drivers, ladies and gentlemen. What can they do around Interlagos for 30 laps? Random weather, so anything's at play here. The drivers don't know what's going to happen. All you can do is practice all week and hope that you get some variations of weathers. Of course, document your information and hope that come race day you've got enough information from your practicing, testing, and tuning throughout the week to be 100% ready for the official conditions on track as it happens. Is Justin in? Justin is in. Yes, sir. He is. That's right. Thanks for the reminder on that, Tom, actually. We do have a new driver in the field, not on the list here tonight, and his name is Jay Silva on screen, and those of us know him as Just Gaming for Real as well. So, new driver on track tonight, his debut here in round 5 as well. Let's go Apex, says Larry. Hey, let's go, fellas, says Derek Nolan. Someone please put Corey on the poster. He's in as well. Yes, we don't have an updated poster. I know, guys. I'm sorry. We do have THG's Corey in the field as well. His debut was last week, I believe it was. So that is why you don't see him yet, because we didn't do last week's race. Yeah, so lots of catching up to do here in the Pro Division. So again, we don't have all the drivers here tonight. Now remember, ladies and gentlemen, it is the holiday season. Some people are already doing the holiday thing and doing stuff and traveling or whatever the case may be as well. So again, real life has to come first. So we're going to move over to the track here now, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to see what is shaking here in our Pro Division tonight. So after a 10-minute qualifying run, this is where all our drivers settle out. So debut driver Jay Silva sitting on pole position. So juicy little bonus point for that driver coming in for Team High Pre. We've got ATK Motorsports Cheaters Tom here in second as well. And those two were only split by about 1.5 tenths of a second, ladies and gentlemen, in their qualifying time. Apex's Badass sitting in third place here on the grid. We've got Ricardo Pickles in fourth. We've got THG's Corey, who we were just talking about, ladies and gentlemen, in fifth place. We've got Bar 27 here in sixth. We've got Method Jr. in seventh. We've got Serturo here in eighth. And we've got Magic Man and Ghost 45 from Rockefeller Racing rounding out the field here in 9th and 10th place today. So that is where we're at coming into round 5 in our Pro Division. So I guess really without further ado, it's time to get this race bumping, isn't it, ladies and gentlemen? Kick them tires, light them fires. It's time to go racing. Let's go. 1, 2, 3 red, 4 red, 5 red. Waiting for the green. Waiting. We're still waiting. Ooh, longish light here, and the drivers are off. Looks like everybody gets off clean here. Let's go into turn 1. 2 wide, 3 wide as we're coming in here. Looking like everybody, no, we're going to go 3 wide in the mid-pack there, but it is going to be Jay Silva very early on getting the race lead here. He's got the whole shot out of pole position coming into the set of S's, and he gets a clean break from the pack. Badass settles up into second place. Ricardo Pickles here in third. We've got Cheater Tom here in fourth place. You have no game audio. Let's fix that. There we go. All right, Bar 27 here in fifth. We've got Method in sixth. And a little battle happening. Ooh, a little push there for Bar 27 as they were going into the corner there to help him out. And then and Corey here in seventh as well. So we had Method and Corey there that were nose to tail. And then Bar 27 in the middle of that battle. And yeah, nice little help through the corner to keep everybody nice and tight together here was between Corey and Bar 27. We got Serturo here in eighth. got Magic here in 9th, and we've got Ghost 45 rounding out the field here in 10th. So all the drivers surviving there, and one driver there looking a little sideways there as they were coming around that mid sector there. So we'll keep our eye on that here in one moment. We've got Jay Silva here in first place. We've got Badass here in second. Again, Ricardo here in third place chasing, and a little bit of gap between these guys. Badass is starting to close back up on Jay Silva here already at the end of lap 1. So he got a nice run off the start-finish line there, but Badass and Ricardo Pickles very quickly reeling him back in. He's like, whoa, 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 guy, let's not let you get away here right away. That Ghost guy seems familiar. We've got Method here in 4th place. We don't know what you're talking about, Tom. Bar 27 here in 5th. We've got Corey in 6th place. We've got Sir Churro here in 7th. We've got Cheater Tom here down in 8th place. Ghost 45 here up in the 9th, and Magic Man down into 10th here. So a little bit of position change up in the back of the pack here, but up front it is still Team High Priest driver Jay Silva leading the pack through. So lap 2 of 30. Hasn't been too overly exciting here yet. These guys have kept it really neat and clean right off the get-go here, and these guys have just immediately seems like they're settling right into this race. Is Badass going to take a look? Ooh, and Jay Silva's going to go straight defensive there. He's going to move across and cut that line off from Badass. So it didn't look like Badass was even going to try and make a move there. So Jay Silva getting very defensive very early on. So is that the right play from a driver this early in the race? I guess we'll have to wait to find out. But interesting move there from Jay Silva. Very interesting. Apex is Badass here in 2nd place, and you can see he is taking a little bit of a wider line just to get the good run out of the corner here. And nose to tail are all of these drivers still, ladies and gentlemen. We're coming around here on lap 2. Method here in 4th place. He's got Bar 27 chasing here in 5th. Corey's up into 6th here for Team THG as well. Sir Churro is up in the 7th here with Cheater Tom right in behind in 9th place. We've got Ghost 45 right in behind these guys, and Magic Man here in 10th just chasing. So Jay Silva down the road, still in first place, lap 3, and holding strong so far here, but let's see what happens here as we keep coming around. He's going to take a nice tight line coming into the S's here, and yeah, no, Badass gains a little time there on him, it looks like, as he got a very good exit out of there. He's got a nice tight line around. He's going to tuck right into that slipstream, and immediately again we're seeing Silva go very defensive, and I'm not sure if that's the move this early on in the race. It doesn't really look like Badass is even attempting to show that he was battling for first place here. He's just kind of sitting in behind, sitting on the racing line. So not sure if that's because he sees the driver go across and take the defensive line or what's going on there, but a very interesting strategy again from our first place driver. Badass here again in 2nd place, the Apex Racing driver here. He's the only one on track for Team Apex here tonight, and you can see he's just sitting in behind Silva here. He's just being patient. He does have the field, however, bearing down on him here now, so Method's now quickly worked his way up into 3rd place here. So sitting on that final podium spot, he's got Pickles right in behind him, tucked underneath that spoiler. And these guys still all nose to tail here as we're coming around here on lap 3 by the looks of it. So Bar 27 in there right there in 5th place, and he's just going to slide right up in behind Pickles on exit there. You got Corey here in 6th place. He's just going to tuck right up in behind Bar. Sir Churro's just coming around here in 7th. He's just starting to fall off that pack. Cheater Tom here as well, coming around in 8th. Got Ghost here in 9th, and Magic coming just behind here in 10th. So a couple of these drivers are having a little bit of issues with some in-game issues too as well during this race, ladies and gentlemen. So we may see some of our favorite drivers not having the best race tonight, and it may just be because they were having some very interesting gaming issues this week here at Interlagos. So yeah, it is what it is, ladies and gentlemen. Jay Silva here in first place, and he still has the whole pack hot on his tail here. So it's not going to be an easy ride here for him. Let's see if he goes defensive here again, coming into turn 1, unless Badass gets around him here. Badass goes really deep on the outside. That might open up the door for Method to take a look, and Method took a peek, but he's just going to sit back and let this hopefully battle develop here for first place. Now, this is a tough spot because eventually one of these drivers is going to finally be like, you know what, I don't want to be sitting in this position anymore. I want to get up in front, or I want to get up a spot here. And eventually a battle is going to start developing at some point here in this group of drivers. It's just a matter of when and where. So Silva coming around the final corner here at the end of lap 4 now for Team High Prix, and Badass still in tow with the rest of the pack chasing. Just nice dark colorings here on the cars again from Apex, doing a little bit of an adjustment on these liveries here for this week. They're just popping out there on the racetrack tonight. THG with some good looking liveries on track as well. Team High Prix livery up in the lead. We'll get back to that in a few moments here. We got Ricardo Pickles as well, and I'm not sure if he's associated with the team or not. He is. Looks like Flying Fox Racing there we see on the side of that car. So there we go. That answers that question. We got THG's Corey here as well in 5th. Sir Churro is, I think he's independent if I'm not mistaken. Just a nice simple livery there from him. We've got ATK's Streeter Tom here. And he's just on the back of this pack here, sitting on a purple lap. Goes 45, just a little bit off these guys here in 8th place now currently. So Magic Man here up in the 9th, and Bar 27 down into 10th place here. So not sure what's happened to Bar 27 here, ladies. Ooh, getting a little bit squirrely there as well, coming around that corner, pushing hard to catch up. But Bar's gone down from 5th to 10th place here, ladies and gentlemen. So tough early start to the race there for Bar 27, but not too far off the pack there. Again, the whole pack is basically still nose to tail as we're coming around at near the end of lap 5 here. So a little bit of a break between the front half and the back half of the pack, but potentially because maybe different tires, maybe different strategies. It's really hard to say. We've got a Bang Gong coming in with that thumbs up as well. Much love. Hope everybody's having a fantastic Monday evening here, or Tuesday morning, afternoon, I suppose, depending where it is that you're tuning in from here. But Team High Prix Jay Silva is still in the lead. He's got a little bit of a gap here on Badass. No, not much. Just about a second. It's not anything to be too happy and comfortable about right now, but it's a space. It's a space. It's breathing room. And when you're leading the race, every little bit of breathing room helps. So you see him taking a wide entry in there, and he's just going to hug that apex, make sure he doesn't leave any doors open there. Going to get on that next one and just follow the corners out. So great lines here shown by our drivers up front here. Jay Silva still in the lead of this race. He's led the entire race here so far, ladies and gentlemen. Badass in 2nd place here, and he is chasing. So it is still a matter of when do these guys start battling. He does have Method still very close behind here in 3rd place, but they've broken just a little bit of separation here to our 4th place driver, Pickles. Again, not much really to be comfortable about though here for Method in 3rd place, and then Corey GT35 here right there too in 5th place, just a smidge behind these guys. Sir Churro's attacking here now in 6th, and Cheater Tom moving up into 7th here. Ghost 45 in 8th, Magic in 9th, and again Bar 27 in 10th. They're having some kind of issue. We're not sure what that issue was, but falling to the back of the pack. So. And there we go. Oh, Jay Silva, the leader, ladies and gentlemen, just getting it wrong, coming out of that corner there. Oof, spitting out, and it is positions, 6 positions lost. He goes from 1st to 6th place here. So a mistake by our race leader here, ladies and gentlemen. That's going to put Apex Racing's Badass there, and Ghost 45 give him a little bump here, going, come on, man, get going, brother. And up the road they go. Magic here chasing in 9th, and Bar 27 here in 10th. So a little bit of dirty tires there from Jay Silva, is sitting on the line there and really leaving none of the other drivers anywhere to go there. So giving him a push, helping him get back up to speed. Great stuff. Badass here now in the race lead, so patience paying off here for Badass, not battling with Silva there early on, just gave him the free pass to the lead. So our 2nd race leader here tonight, ladies and gentlemen, does belong to Apex Racing's Badass. And then we have Method Jr. now moving up into 2nd place because of that mistake there by Silva. And Ricardo Pickles is going to move himself right into that last podium step here currently in 3rd place. Corey's going to move himself up into 4th place now with that mistake. Sir Churro is going to move up a spot to 5th as well. So great for those top 5 drivers, all bumping up a spot. Silva chasing here in 6th now. Goes 45 on his tail here in 7th. Magic still right there catching up here in 8th. Bar 27 in 9th. And we got Cheater Tom coming in on an alternative strategy here. So coming out of the pit lane here, and unfortunately for him, picking up a pit lane penalty there as well. So either on entry or exit there, he crossed that pit line, and the stewards gave him a 3-second penalty that he's going to have to serve when he comes around. Pardon me, ladies and gentlemen, to about the point where these drivers are coming here right now. So they're going to come around this final corner, and then right as you're coming around this corner, you can see those yellow flags. That's where these penalties are served here, and that is coming into a high-speed zone. So that 3 seconds is going to cost more like 4 or 5 seconds, unfortunately, for ATK driver Streeter Tom there. But lots of racing left. It's only lap 7 of 30, ladies and gentlemen. So what do we got? Method's now in the lead of the race, so here we go. Now we're starting to see some battling up front here. Method has taken the lead from Badass on lap 7 there, and he's going to come across on lap 8 as our new race leader. So our third race leader of the night here does belong to Method Jr. from THG. Badass now sitting in second place again. Pickle's still sitting in third place, just sitting behind these two. Corey chasing in fourth with Sir Churl, who really starting to close up on him here. Silva's still trying to catch up to that pack. He's kind of in no man's land right now, so to speak. He's just in front of that back pack with Ghost 45 chasing here. So Magic Man teammate just in behind as well. Bar 27 still trying to chase Magic Man down, and then of course Cheater Tongue, who we've seen just come into pit lane there on an alternative strategy. So we're gonna see how that works out for him. It's very interesting. This driver may have decided to just take some soft tires early and just absolutely full send it, so we'll have to see how that works out for him. But Method in the lead of this race now, and he's this gentleman's been racing very strong here as we've been entering the mid part of our season here at Flat Out Racing North America in the Pro Division, as well of course Badass been racing strong fairly well all season long. Ricardo Pickles as well been battling well all season long, and Corey's been battling well all season long as well. Just in a different division for the start of the season, but he's got bumped up or promoted. He's showing some pretty good pace here as well in this Pro Division with this, of course, Group 3 Jaguars. What these guys are running on the racetrack here, ladies and gentlemen. I do apologize, I forgot to tell you guys what the car is on track tonight. It is the Group 3 Jaguar. I believe it's a 2016 version, and I mean it is absolutely a rocket in a straight line, ladies and gentlemen, but the car does not like to turn, so this is a tough racetrack for this race car. These drivers are going to be working hard here all night long behind the wheel of these Jaguars. Ghost 45 here just in behind Silva, still chasing in 7th. Magic Man right in behind him there in 8th. So teammates starting to close back up on each other here. Bar 27 here in 9th. Cheater Tom in 10th. So here we go, back to the race leader, Method Jr. here now coming around as we're just entering these very difficult mid-sectors of Brazil's famous track, Interlagos here. And this is really a matter of flow and maintaining speed and grip. So you want to still take these corners as quickly as you can, but you want to have grip underneath your tires, or of course you'll just float out wide and end up in the marbles, and then, well, that's just going to be a bad series of events after that for you to drop a few positions. And right now, with how close these drivers are, a spin could very well put you at the back of the pack, as these pro drivers aren't too far apart separated yet. But Method is in the lead. We have Badasses sitting about 0.8 of a second behind him here. Ricardo Pickles is about a second behind our second place driver at Badass here. Corey is just about 0.6 of a second behind Ricardo Pickles. Sir Churro just like 0.3, 0.4 tops in behind Corey here as well from Team THG. So Silva is going to be a solid 8 to 10 seconds back off that front pack currently right now after that spin. He's been working hard to catch it up here. He's got some clean air, and nobody chasing right now, so he's in a good position. We got Ghost 45 as well. He's losing the pace on Silva up there ahead a little bit, but teammate is starting to catch up, so maybe a little bit of bump drafting will start happening between those two drivers as Magic Man is starting to catch up to Ghost 45 there. Bar 27 here in 9th place. He's coming around now as well, and Cheater Tom is just coming up to start-finish line here right now, so he's actually already slowly starting to gain on that pack after that first pit stop, so very interesting. But the race lead does belong to Method, so let's have a little peek-sees here is what it looks like here in the car of Method for that THG driver as he's coming around here into this technical sector. And I mean, he has got a mirror full of Apex Racing right there. All he can see right now is Apex and a blue Jaguar chasing. And then you can just see that little hint of orange in behind Badass there with Ricardo Pickles as well. So he knows that there is some traffic in behind him here, and he has to be flawless. Can't make a mistake, can't leave the door open, because if he does, one of these guys is just going to slip their way through. So moving over to our second place driver here, Badass. He's kind of in the middle of this podium sandwich here at the moment, sitting in second place. He's just sitting in behind Method here. And he doesn't really look like he's too worried about putting any pressure on Method right now. He's just trying to stay in that toe and really let the leader punch the hole in the air currently on the racetrack. You see Method trying to break that toe a little bit there. And Vaz just chilling back there in second place, about a second off about a second off the leader, going, we good, we good. Moving into third place, driver Ricardo Pickles here now as well, ladies and gentlemen. And as they're coming through the Senna S's here, it's a great shot in cockpit view here as they're coming through the Senna S's. Same thing, he's about a second behind that second place driver, Apex Racing's Badass. You can see Method's there breaking the toe again. Badass is just chilling there on the racing line. Pickles, much of the same thing. He's just chilling behind these guys, sitting in the slipstream, just on the tail end of that slipstream. Just like, yeah, you guys can pull me along here. No worries. I'm good. I'm good. Look behind him here. He's got a little bit of separation as well from fourth and fifth place drivers. So he's in a pretty good spot right now on lap 11 and 30, if I got to say. Just driving in third place, chilling, not losing those two guys in front, not letting that guy in behind gain. Corey here in fourth place. And I mean, this is the guy that really sees that podium in front of him. He's the one that's kind of probably grinding at the bit a little bit. He wants to catch up to these guys. He wants to try and grab a position or two, maybe, or at least get into an earshot. Come pit lane, he can maybe jump one of these guys and get onto that podium position without even having to battle for the spot. But he does have this man right behind, Sir Churro. And Sir Churro has been there for the majority of the race, just tucked up in underneath Corey's wing there. So Sir Churro here is actually, Corey got a good run through there. He actually gained a lot on Pickles coming out of that sector here. So losing Sir Churro a little bit, gaining some time on that third place driver Pickles. So Sir Churro here in fifth place, he looks behind and he's got nobody to worry about right now in behind. So right now this is what he's worried about, what he sees up front here. The leader is just up ahead there and he's got fourth place in sight. Jay Silva, he's coming up that front straight now and he is starting to make up some time here. So he can see the tail end of that lead pack now, and there's always some motivation in that when you're trying to regain position on the racetrack. So he's doing a really good job of catching up. We got Ghost 45 here, and he's just seen these guys go into the Senna S's, so he's not that too far entirely ahead of him either. As you can see him actually just around the corner there. Bar 27's gone around Magic Man here, now looks like just in front of, so he's in 8th place here. And Magic currently sitting here in 9th, and this is one of the drivers here that was suffering from the glitching as well as ATK's Cheater Tom here as well as he's coming through the Senna S's here, so he's almost caught up to Magic Man and Bar 27 there. So here's a little race recap here at about our third waypoint through the race here, so we get back out to our TV crew and let them do their jobs, because, well, hey, that's what they're paid to do, right? Give us some great shots. Little coffee crush right there, ladies and gentlemen. Get some vocals back. Alright. You pronounce Jaguar wrong. Jaguar. Jaguar. For those of a North American accent. I tell you, these Brits, they're all English teachers nowadays. Method Jr. here in first place. Apex is Badass here in second. Ricardo Pickles in third place. And I mean that in the most loving way, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Corey 35 here in fourth place. We have Sir Churro here in fifth. Jay Silva in sixth place. We've got Ghost 45 here in seventh, just trying to catch up to that pack up ahead there. Bar 27 and Magic Man nose to tail here as they're coming up this long run straightaway. And we've got, again, Magic Man in ninth. He took a little think, he thought about it there. He stuck his nose out there for a second, but he's just going to sit in behind Bar 27 here as they're chasing down Ghost 45 up ahead in 7th, and Cheater Tom here just coming around the start-finish line as well. So he is starting to close in on those guys a little bit. Up ahead of him there in 8th and 9th place. So we still got a nice juicy train of 5 cars here up in the front of this pack here tonight, and Method Jr. leading the way here. He's had the lead for about 5 laps now, 5.5 laps now, maybe more. And Badass still sitting in second place. He's been sitting in second place for the majority of this race. He's just been kind of chilling back there and assessing the situation, playing a little strategy, being patient, not sure. Maybe a combination of all of the above. It's hard to say. Pickles here in third place. He's starting to see a little bit of pressure here from Corey now in fourth place here. Corey and Sir Churro both closing in on this driver here over the last couple of laps, and now it's just become a three-way nose-to-tail train here as we're coming out of that final corner, coming up this backstretch, start-finish line straightaway. That's not really a straightaway, but it's a straightaway. The high-speed sector, I mean, these guys are full speed. As soon as they get out of that corner, they're on the power, and they don't come off the power until they start braking. Coming into turn 1s, 2, and 3 to Senna S's, so it is a full send sector there, and Ricardo Pickles just sitting there. Corey just going to stay in behind in 4th. Sir Churro doing much of the same here in 5th place, so all these drivers just content at the moment, being smart, being patient, and just not losing any pace or any ground. Silva here in 6th place, and again, he's on his own here, so it's hard to catch up to guys that are drafting this well. But you can see those guys just up ahead there. So he should be, as long as he can keep this thing flawless here, catching up to these guys in no time at all. Goes 45 here up into 7th place, and he is about 8 to 10 seconds off of 6th place's driver Jay Silva here now, as he's coming around that corner there. Bar 27 here gotten a little bit of space on Magic Man here currently, but Magic Man's still sitting right there and not letting him get away. And Cheater Tom here is starting to close up on these guys. He's just coming into the corners we've seen these guys come out of. So Streeter Tom is definitely on the move here, but Method Jr. is still leading this race, and he's been having a good race here tonight. He's starting to open up a little bit of a gap on our 2nd place driver here, and so far we haven't seen any drivers besides Streeter Tom go for a 2-stop strategy. So it does appear that we're going to see a full field of 1-stop strategies versus one driver's 2-stop strategy. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out for Streeter Tom and of course the rest of the field as Streeter Tom is chasing. So there we go. Method coming around here to start lap 15. We're at our halfway point, just under, ladies and gentlemen, here as he comes around turns 1 and 2 with Apex Racing's Badass very close in tow following and taking a very short line there. You can see that Jag just absolutely bouncing over that curb, and great job to keep it underneath him, not losing the car. They don't like to be bounced around like this, folks. Ricardo Pickles here in 3rd place with Corey still chasing in 4th and Serturo still in 5th. So a lot of real good patient driving being shown here from the Pro Division tonight. Jay Silva here, he's kind of had his head down and just full sending here since he spun out of 1st place, dropping himself all the way down into 6th where he currently is sitting there. But you can see he's only got about 3 seconds distance between him and that front pack here now. Goes 45, still much of the same, about 10, maybe a little more now seconds behind the front pack, and he's just kind of all on his own here, no man's land. Magic Man here in 8th place, so he's all on his own now as well. He's lost his drafting partner with Bar 27, who's now in pit lane getting some fuel and tires, and we've lost ATK Streeter Tom. So we have a driver already having to put his car behind the wall here tonight, and down to 9 we are, ladies and gentlemen. So super unfortunate for our boy Streeter Tom. Much love, great racer on the racetrack, and just super unfortunate that he's had to put that car behind the wall here tonight. It is what it is. It's super unfortunate, but the race goes on, and he's still going to get 10th place points at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen. So not the most worst thing in the world for not being able to complete the race, but not ideal, of course, as well when you're competing for a championship. But he'll bounce back next week and try it all over again, ladies and gentlemen. They will get that car sorted out, and they will have that car back on track next week. Ricardo Pickles here in 3rd place with Corey in 4th, just behind. He's still right there. He hasn't let Ricardo get away at all. And Serturo, much of the same thing. He's just sitting there chilling out. And Jay Silva here, he is just pulling these guys in. He is basically on the back of this front pack here now again, and looking racy is he tonight for his debut. Goes 45 here in 7th place as he's coming around here. Magic Man in 8th, and Bar 27 now rounding out the field here in 9th. So Method up the road. When are these drivers going to stop is the next biggest question, ladies and gentlemen. Well, it's going to be soon, we can tell you that much. So our leader here, Method, and I think all drivers also started on the same tire as well. I can tell you now, ladies and gentlemen. Ian coming in with that share. Much love, my guy. I hope you're doing fantastic tonight. So Method in the lead here, and maybe one more time around for Method here. And let's go take a look at our 2nd place driver. Much of the same from our 2nd place driver here as well. So. And it is. They're going to go around one more time here. We got Ricardo Pickles. He's also going to go around one more time. And we see a couple of guys jumping into pit lane there behind. So our top 3 deciding to stay out. Corey coming in. Yes, he's almost out of fuel. 1% fuel in that car as he comes in. Serturo coming in behind him with only 4% fuel. Silva coming in, and he was pushing hard with 5% fuel. So very interesting. Magic Man's coming around here in 8th place. He's going to grab those spots from those drivers. Bar 27 coming around in 9th. He may grab those spots as well. So Method's still in the lead here. Badass closing up on him a little bit. So maybe Badass thinking about pit strategy here. He wants to get as much distance closed up on this first place driver as he can. Maybe leapfrog in pit lane. We got Pickles here in 3rd place. He's losing some time on these drivers, and well, we can all see why. That front right tire is gone. It is done. And goes 45 here now in 4th place. He's quite a ways behind that guy, that pack. 15, maybe 16 seconds there, or a little more potentially. Magic Man here in 5th place now, and Corey in 6th place, and moving very slowly on the racetrack. And poo, okay. So, 2 drivers in behind pit wall here. Not exactly sure what was going on there with Corey GT's 35's car, but down to 8 folks. Another car going to have to call it a day here, bring it into the garage behind the wall, and retire out of this race. So very interesting. Down to 8 in the field here tonight. So our leaders now are pitting. So we've got Method coming in. He's on 0% fuel. Badass is coming in. He's on 0% fuel. Pickles is coming in. He's on 1% fuel. Let's see what Ghost does here. Ghost is going to go around again. Interesting. All right. Magic Man is going to go around again. He looks like that's the line he's taking. He is going to go around again. So interesting, different times of pits for these guys. So Serturo out of pit lane after a stop, Silva out after a stop, Barr out after a very early stop on the field. That puts Ghost 45 in the lead of this race, and that makes him the 4th race leader here tonight. But we're going to see this driver pitting obviously at the end of this lap as well, as he is getting very low on fuel, and 2nd place driver teammate Magic Man right in behind. A little more fuel in that car here in behind there as well in 2nd. So Method now coming out of pit lane. Badass is just coming out of pit lane. Pickles is now coming out of pit lane. So looking like Method got the jump on those 2 guys chasing him behind. So let's see where everybody settles here. We're going to see these 2 drivers that are in 1st and 2nd place stopping for a pit stop here very soon. And tires are a little bit better. It feels just a little bit better in Magic's car than it is in Ghost's car. So 2 of these drivers able to stretch that fuel load an extra lap over the rest of the field. So we'll have to see if that pays off for them here as they're coming around. But it's about a minute pit stop here for tires and fuel on a one-stop strategy at Interlagos here this week. So I'm not sure if they have that kind of a gap on these drivers that pit a lap before them here, but that should put Method back in the lead once those 2 drivers do stop. So we're just going to jump on. You see Ghost coming in there at pit lane. He's going to stop. He's on 0% fuel. We got Magic coming around right now. He's going to come into pit lane as well, and he is on how much fuel? 4% fuel. So good job by those 2 drivers getting 18 laps out of this car around the track here. Method in 3rd now. He's just coming around, so he should jump these guys in pit lane. There's no way that they had a minute gap on these drivers here, so we're just going to stick with our race leader. And fastest man on the racetrack right now too, ladies and gentlemen, is ATK's Cheater Tom with a 130.805 on the racetrack. So not in the race, but still holding that very important bonus point. So Method is going to take the race lead as he comes around here. Badass is going to move back up into 2nd. Pickles is going to move back up into 3rd. Churro is going to move up into 4th. Silva is going to move up into 5th. Ghost 45 here still in pit lane, as well as Magic Man. You can see them getting some fuel in that car. So Bar 27 is coming around here now as well. So where is he going to come around in comparison to these 2 drivers? He does get ahead of Magic. No, it looks like Magic and Ghost may be out of pit lane, and that is the case. So Ghost 45 is coming out of pit lane here right now. Where is Bar? Ghost actually getting a great jump on Magic Man in pit lane there. As you can see, Bar 27 getting ahead of Magic Man around pit lane, and Magic Man is just coming out in behind. So Ghost 45 got a great jump in pit lane there on those 2 drivers chasing him there in 7th and 8th, I guess it is. So, but Method still leading this race. We're almost at lap 20 here, ladies and gentlemen. We're almost 2/3 of the way around the racetrack here tonight, and it's been a pretty slow, smart, strategic race from all our drivers on track here tonight. You really haven't seen a lot of battling from these guys, and it's not that they can't, they're just opting not to. I mean, what can we say? smart driving, and I mean, we'll have to wait to see what happens here. We still have 10 laps remaining with this one that they're just going to be coming once they come across the start-finish line here. So 11, I guess, including this lap. So a 131.8 is the personal best there for Method as he comes around. Badass coming around with a 130.554, so almost challenging that fastest lap. And Serchero is now the fastest man on the racetrack as well. At the end of that lap, a 130.8 for Pickle Rick as well. But Serchero with a 130.538, so squeezing out Streeter Tom there as well. And Jay Silva here in 5th place. And he's got some good pace underneath that race car right now as well. And Ghost 45 just coming out after his pit stop. Bar 27 here in 7th place. Magic in 8th. So the driver's still able to keep those race cars running on the racetrack, and you're already sitting in good position for points here today, as it was only a 10-car grid here today. And of course, we had a couple of drivers having to put their cars behind the wall due to various issues and retire from this race here today. So Method in the lead, but Badass is starting to put some pressure on Method here. And is this the time when we see Badass maybe make a move here? He's really starting to close up on Method Jr. So we'll stick with this just for a second. It's kind of really the only thing happening on the racetrack right now as far as a battle is concerned. So we're going to hang out here for a minute. Let's get a different view though. Let's go hood view. Alright, so there we go. On board with Method Jr. a race later here as we have 2nd place driver Apex Racing's Badass chasing, and he's in that slipstream. And watch how much these cars pull right up into each other, and Badass is going to take a look here on the left side. Here we go, move on, he's going to get it done. Oh, wrong direction with the camera. Come on, camera guy, get it right. And Apex Racing's Badass getting it done through the Senna S's. Method leaving a little bit of room there on the inside. Apex Racing's Badass drove himself right through that door, and he is now in the race lead. So Apex Racing's Badass taking the race lead back for the 2nd time today here as well. Now, can he hold it from Method? Ricardo in 3rd place, still chasing here, and he was probably hoping for a little bit of an elongated battle from those two drivers so he could easily close that gap up, but that didn't happen. Move got done, and those two drivers are right back down the racetrack, so very minimal time loss between our 1st and 2nd place driver for that position change there. Serchero in 4th place, with Silva starting to close up here in 5th as well, so we're going to be watching these guys fairly closely here as they're seeming to close up. We've got Ghost 45 here in 6th place, and a little bit behind that pack we've got Bar 27 here in 7th and Magic in 8th, not too far behind that driver as well. So Apex Racing's Badass coming around here as we're coming into this straight elongated stretch to the start-finish line here. This very, I guess, long, slow, sweeping left-hand corner over a very large portion of the racetrack here to round out lap 21 and go on to lap 22 here. So Apex Racing's Badass now coming into the S's, and he's already starting to open up a bit of a gap here on 2nd place driver Method. So Badass has just started to put it down to the floor and be like, you know what, I think I want a gap here. Method chasing in 2nd, about 1.2 seconds behind here right now. It looks like Ricardo about the same behind Method. We've got Serchero here just in behind Ricardo by about 6-7 tenths, and Jay Silva probably in about a half second in behind Serchero here, and it looks like he may have closed up a little bit coming into that corner. Let's watch this as let's jump on board with our driver Serchero here as he is leaving some room there for Silva, and Silva was going to try and make a move there. He just couldn't get in, and there we go. So on the inside is Silva, and he's going to get the job done going through the midsection, but now he's going to go wide, so he's going to leave the door back open for Serchero. Can he respond? No, Serchero just has to tuck back in behind Jay Silva, so Silva doing a pretty good job there at maintaining that good move on the inside going through the midsection there, and he's going to open up that gap just a little tiny bit to not allow Serchero to try and make a move coming into this final corner here. Serchero really closing up on the braking here though, and that's going to close him right back up on the back door of Jay Silva. So Jay Silva from Team High Pre moving up into 4th place there. Serchero dropping a position down into P5. So a little bit of battling starting to happen here as the race is starting to progress towards its finish here tonight. And Ghost 45 here in 6th place, and he's just kind of doing his thing off in the middle of nowhere here. Bar 27, ooh, getting it wrong. You can see him really getting sideways as he caught a lot of that curbing. and just able to keep that car underneath of him. And Magic Man here in 8th place, just as behind as well. So Badass still leading this race as we start lap 23, and Jay Silva now the fastest man on the racetrack with a 1:30.252 here, ladies and gentlemen. So these guys are also trading that fastest lap point around here as they're going around the racetrack. Best, come on Facebook and YouTube. Hey, what's up, brother? Miller Time up in the house. Miller Time Gaming right over on Facebook, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you stop over there and say hi. Sim racing, Call of Duty, all kinds of different various stuff this guy has for content over there on Miller Time Gaming. You can catch him a couple times a day throughout the week as well, Monday to Friday and on the weekends. So much love to Miller Time Gaming coming in with that big time raid, and appreciate all that support as well, my dude. Much love, much love. Method here in 2nd place, and he is really starting to lose that rear bumper of Apex Racing's Badass here right now. So I'm not sure if Apex Racing's Badass was just playing around a little bit here and just waiting to get onto that soft tire. Maybe he's more comfortable on this soft tire compared to the medium tire here tonight, and this is when he knew that he was going to be able to get on a pace he liked and just keep moving up the road. But he has opened that up to about 2.5-3 seconds on Method Jr. in 2nd place. We got a battle for 3rd place here. Silva going the inside of Pickles, and Pickles is just going to let him go through on the inside here, but he is going to try and get a good run here to respond coming out of turn 2 into turn 3. And as we come around turn 3 here, Pickles is right back on the rear bumper of Jay Silva here. So Jay Silva getting the job done, finding his way into P3 here. So this driver's starting to move his way back up the pack, trying to find back himself way back up into 1st place here in his Pro Division debut here tonight for Flat Out Racing North America. Again, ladies and gentlemen, this is sponsored by GTR Simulators and Apex Racing Team, and I am your host for the evening, GT45 Gaming. All our graphics on stream here provided by High Pre Graphics. We do have another battle for position for 3rd here as Pickles goes up the inside of Silva and takes that position back. Silva responding, going up the inside. Pickles staying side by side here. He's now got the inside line around the next corner, and he's going to hold that position, but now he's going to have the outside going into this corner. So Jay Silva's got the advantage of going inside, and Sir Churro's going to take a look now too as he's getting his nose in this battle. So we got a 3-way battle for 3rd, 4th, and 5th place happening here. Pickles up the inside of Sir Churro, and with those two battling, that gave Silva a little bit of a chance to get a little bit of a gap. So Jay Silva, the big winner out of that 3-way battle there, and he's going to get about a 1-second gap on 4th place for Pickles, and Pickles still has to worry about Sir Churro, who's tucked right up in the slipstream here. So great battling there by those drivers. Goes 45 in 6th, and Bar 27 in 7th, and Magic Man here in 8th. So Apex Racing's Badass here in 1st place and looking very strong here right now on the racetrack. Can't say words today again, chat. Method here in 2nd place. We got Silva in 3rd, and he is still watching this battle for 4th and 5th place now between Sir Churro and Pickles. So these two drivers are swapping that 4th and 5th place position around now here as we're coming around each sector of the racetrack. Sir Churro benefiting at the moment, is currently sitting up into P4 as he's just gotten around Ricardo Pickles there, and Ricardo Pickles now chasing in 4th place to try and get that 5th place, trying to get that 4th place spot back. Ghost 45 here, he is trying to catch that pack up in front, but he's about 20 seconds behind these guys currently here now on the racetrack. It's going to be a tough call here for him to catch up to those guys. You got Magic Man here in 7th place with Bar 27 having to make another stop here, and his right front tire was just toast. So Bar 27 on an alternative 2-stop strategy here, and not looking like that's going to work out for him here today. Badass coming around here in 1st place, and Bar 27 still in pit lane here. So Bar 27 actually at risk of going a lap down here today as well here on Interlagos. So very interesting strategy here from Bar 27. So Badass coming around here right now. Bar 27 has exited pit lane, it looks like here, so there's a little bit of space between himself and Badass still on the racetrack. So Bar 27 still on that lead lap. Method here in 2nd place chasing Badass, and he's just starting to lose pace with that leader here currently. Jay Silva in 3rd place, and this guy's been moving positions all race long after a big self-induced spin early on lap 5 or 6 or 6 or 7 or something like that, putting himself from 1st to 6th place. So he's done a great job of recovering here so far in the race tonight as well. Sir Churro here in 4th place, and he's trying to close up on Silva. He takes a really wide line around there, and that was an interesting line from that driver. Looked like he got a pretty decent run there as well. Ricardo Pickles here still chasing in 5th place as well. Ghost 45 still sitting here in 6th place, and he is trying to chase these guys down, but he just doesn't have the pace of that front pack here today. Magic Man here in 7th place. One of our drivers suffering from some glitching issues here in the game, so he just hasn't been able to really put a full effort in here today. And Bar 27 here in 8th place on that 2-stop strategy as well. So Badass in the race lead here on lap 26. We're coming around to lap 27 here, and he's in a pretty comfortable spot here right now, with Method chasing about 4 to 5 seconds behind now currently. We just see Badass going over the hill there as he's coming around this final corner, so a pretty decent little gap between 1st and 2nd place here currently on the racetrack. Silva is probably closer to Method currently right now in 3rd place, and Method is to our race leader in 1st place there. Sir Churro here in 4th place, still trying to chase Silva down, but Silva's opened that gap back up a little bit on our 4th place driver. And Ricardo Pickles now starting to close in on our 4th place driver, Sir Churro here as well. Ghost 45 just coming onto that long run to the start-finish line here to start lap 27 for him. And the other 2 drivers coming around here as well. You can see Magic Man not too far behind his teammate here, coming around as he's just coming past pit entry there, and Bar 27 just coming around through that final sector here right now in 8th place. All right, down to 8 drivers. 2 drivers having to retire out of the race, having to park those cars in behind the pit wall, ladies and gentlemen. And we'll have to find out from race control another time what happened to those 2 cars here today. But for the time being, 8 of these drivers remaining on track. So good points for all the drivers left on track, no matter where it is that the positions settle out here. But Apex Racing's Badass leading this race here as we're on lap 27 of 30. So let's pop some standings up here real quick as we have Casey Arditer in the lead of this division here after 3 rounds, ladies and gentlemen, with 60 points. Jay Stewart with 48, Sir Churro with 47, Apex Badass with 45, Streeter Tom with 38, Pork with 33, Ricardo Pickles with 32, Method with 30, Bar 27 with 27, and Apex Tattooed Freak rounding out the top 10 there with 25 points. So this is only after 3 rounds, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, again, last week's round not officially in the books yet, so there is no point standings after 4 rounds for our pro division here yet this week. They're going to be a week behind right up until the end of the season when we rerun round 4 at Barcelona. So the track is booked for that race to rerun at the end of the season. Jay Silva here in 3rd place chasing, Method in 2nd. I'm pretty sure I brought those up at some point during the broadcast, but I just forgot to go over them, so we figured we better do that real quick. Sir Churro here in 4th place, Ricardo Pickles here in 5th, we have Ghost in 6th, Magic in 7th, and Bar 27 here in 8th place to round out our field here today, the remaining drivers in our field, that is. But Apex Racing's Badass is in the lead as he's coming around. He's going to have 2 to go this time around, including the lap, of course, that they'll be on once he crosses the start-finish line. And it's going to be very soon here. He's just coming around these final couple corners here, and it's going to be one left-hander and then that super long sweeping run to the start-finish line. Edward Roman coming in with that thumbs up. Much love, my dude. How are we doing? Apex is Badass, so in the lead and looking good. Method is about still 4 to 5 seconds in behind here, so a little bit of strategy coming into play. We have Jay Silva here at 3rd place, and he has been pushing very hard here to catch that 2nd place driver. We got Sir Churro here in 4th, and he's kind of all on his own there in 4th place. He's separated a little bit from Pickles, but he's lost that 3rd place driver in the process. Ghost 45's getting it wrong. Ooh, nice save there by Ghost 45 as he comes around the final corner there. And that could have been devastating for a race right at the end of the race there. He went a little bit wide, does a great job at saving that race car. And he's back on track. Teammate Magic Man coming around in behind in 7th place there. And he's just coming around here to start his 2nd last lap of the race. And Bar 29 is about just nearing the end of that middle sector there as he had to make a 2-stop there. So a little bit off the pace of the pack now. But Apex Racing's Badass here coming around. And this time around is going to be 1 to go, ladies and gentlemen. So he's just got a few corners remaining, and we're going to be on our final lap already here today. So this race has been cruising by, and it hasn't been the most action-packed race here, but we have seen some very smart strategic race car driving by every driver in the field here today. has been a very large strategy-based race here today for our Pro Division. So Method here in second place, and he just lost a little bit of that leader. He's trying to make sure he stays ahead of Jay Silva, who's starting to lose touch with our second place driver here now, as all these drivers are starting to come around for their final laps here. Serturo in fourth place as well. Ricardo Pickles in fifth here as he's coming up around that final corner. Goes 45 here in sixth, with Magic in seventh, and Bar 27 here in eighth place. Stefan coming in with that light. Much love, my dude. Appreciate all the support from everybody. Hope we're all enjoying the race here tonight. And this is it. This is the final lap, ladies and gentlemen. Lap 30 of 30 here in Brazil for our Pro Division. 3 of our 5 races to be presented here this week will be in the books. So Apex Racing's badass and looking for his first win of the season, I believe. It could be his second. Maybe his second. He had a very good podium finish in round 1 at Watkins Glen. I just can't remember where it was, but solid podium finisher from that driver. So badass in the lead with Method Jr. chasing in second here. We're going to stick with our leader here as we come around. There's real no battling happening for position. All the drivers spread out here now, so as long as nobody makes a big error at this point here on this final lap, I think we're going to see the field stay as the field stays. But what I can tell you is Apex Racing's badass in the lead here has a dead right front tire, and he's running on fumes as we're coming around our last couple corners here, ladies and gentlemen. So this drivers could be in trouble here if he's not careful with the power coming out of this final corner. He is probably on about 1% fuel here, so it's going to be very close for Apex Racing's badass as he comes up to the start-finish line here. Method Jr. is starting to close in on him here a little bit as well. Method putting the final push on here as we're on that final run. And Apex's badass is out of fuel, ladies and gentlemen. He is coasting to the start-finish line. Is it enough? Method's coming. It is going to be enough. Race to win is going to go to Apex Racing's badass. Method Jr. so close. Doesn't even know how close he was to winning that race right there. Jay Silva's going to come around in third place, and a little showmanship as he crosses the line there. Doesn't get in front of the other car and damage the other car. That's fantastic. Serturo there in fourth place. Ricardo Pickles in fifth place. We got Ghost 45. He's just coming around here behind these guys right now, coming out of that final corner. Getting super wide there as he comes out of that entry. And lots of fuel in that car. 1 second penalty. And a little signal light action there. Not very happy about that penalty. He's coming across that start-finish line. Magic Man coming around here in 7th place as well, flashing them headlights. We got Bar 27 here, and he's going to be the final driver to finish here. All drivers, much like the other 2 divisions here so far this week, all on the lead lap as well, ladies and gentlemen. So we are definitely seeing all these drivers really starting to settle into the series here now. And Bar 27 is showing a little bit of distaste with his race here today. He's kind of let up off the throttle there. He's just wiggling the car back and forth, but still on track and still coming home with 8 place points here today for Bar 27. So fastest lap does belong to Jay Silva. Pole position does belong to Jay Silva, but the race win here today does belong to Apex Racing's badass. So one of our title sponsors has one of their drivers come through here tonight in the Pro Division and scoring a race win for the boys back in the clubhouse. So boy, oh boy, I bet you that place is on fire here right now. You want to know where the party is tonight, ladies and gentlemen? The party is in the Apex Clubhouse here at Interlagos, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations to Apex Racing's badass. Huge congratulations to THG Method Jr. for a very well thought out race, and Jay Silva for a great recovery drive, finding his way on the podium after his exciting race here tonight at Interlagos as well. So some front spoiler damage on that car as well there on Jay Silva. So not sure when that happened, but yeah, great racing here by everybody. So just gonna flip it over to this screen right here, ladies and gentlemen. We are still here to chat and talk with everybody. We're just going to flip it over into our podium interview spot on Discord here. And yeah, wait for our drivers to pop in here. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So again, that was not the typical I won race 1. I thought it was race 1. I thought you won race 1, Chad. I thought that's what it was, my dude. Discord, post interview chat for our 3 podium finishers. If you guys are watching. Right at the bottom of the Flat Out Discord server. Alright, so we are just going to give a shot to our podium finishers to get up into the interviewing space here, ladies and gentlemen. Obviously, they just raced hard. They're tired, they're sweaty, they're celebrating with their teams, they're decompressing, they're debriefing, they're going over what went wrong or what went right. So it always takes a couple minutes for our drivers to get settled in and ready for an interview. So we do appreciate everybody hanging out. Now, a little recap for our race here tonight while we wait. Again, not the most action-packed race here tonight like we've been seeing lately here from Flat Out Racing North America. These guys here in the Pro Division seem to be very strategic in this race here today. There wasn't a lot of hardy, healthy battling going on. The guys made very quick, precise decisions when they were going to try and make a move on a driver, and they made the move stick. There wasn't a lot of return battling. There seemed to be a lot of respect shown between the drivers on the field, knowing that, of course, the grid is so equally paced that you just can't make a mistake. If a guy gets to move on you, you just got to tuck in behind and wait for your opportunity to hopefully make that move back. And we've seen a lot of that here from these drivers, a lot of strategic driving. Just everybody's settling in behind the driver in front of them and just keeping the pace and not losing, not making the mistakes, accounting for that overspeed and slipstream. And just some great driving from the Pro Division here. Really strategic, really well thought out race by our Pro drivers here tonight. We've seen two drivers attempt a two-stop. Unfortunately, one of them having to park the car in behind the wall early on in the race. And we did see one of our THG drivers having some kind of malfunction with their car as well. And that driver also having to park their car in behind pit wall as well. So fairly tough deal here today for these drivers. So I'm just going to see if I can find these gentlemen to get them in the chat here. I'm not sure why I cannot find any of them. This whole Discord podium interview thing, since they changed it, is not working, ladies and gentlemen, so everybody needs to bear with me here. Just give me a moment, I'll be right back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, well, we do not have any of our podium finishers in our post-race interview comms box here tonight. So I guess with that being said, we'll just do what we always do when we don't have one of our drivers available to talk to. Third place driver here tonight, ladies and gentlemen, from Team High Prix, Jay Silva, aka Just Gaiman. First race of the season for him. He came in, qualified during the week, qualified for the Pro Division, and got himself into the race here for round 5 at Interlagos, and having a very good showing. Had showed great pace, potentially had a chance to win this race if he, of course, didn't make that mistake there on lap 6 or 7, coming out of one of these tight corners and just a little overjuiced it on the gas. Spun that car around and moved himself down into 6th place, and then he was recovering ever since. But great drive from Jay Silva from Team High Prix here for third place finish in his first race of the season for Flat Out Racing North America. So that's pretty great stuff there from him as well. Method Jr. here sitting in P2. So, I mean, what can you say from this driver? This guy has been putting in a ton of work for this series. We see him out on the track probably more than any other driver in the Pro Division this season. And the hard work is definitely paying off for this driver. He had a fantastic race. He led a portion of this race as well in the early to mid stages of this race, and then just lost out to Apex Racing's Badass, who eventually took the race win here tonight on that soft tire stint. He got a great jump on him there in pit lane, but Badass just put the pedal to the metal at the beginning of that soft tire run and got the job done early and just continued to open up the gap bit by bit by bit until 30 laps later he crossed the start finish line first to take the checkered flag. So second place finish here for Method from Team THG. Massive drive from Method Jr. And can't wait to see what all these guys have for us, obviously, as we go to round 6 next week at Brands Hatch. And of course, our winner, Apex Racing's Badass, coming in with the big time love, the big time win for the team. One of our title sponsors here, ladies and gentlemen. Our other title sponsor, of course, is GTR Simulators. But Team Apex coming home with a top of the podium finish here in the Pro Division in Week 5 for the team. So the team celebrating 2 division wins here so far this week, with an amateur win by Apex's Heathen and now a Pro Division win by Apex Racing's Badass. So Apex Racing looking very strong so far early in this very young Flat Out Racing North American Series, ladies and gentlemen. And Apex Badass, I know this driver quite well. I've talked to this driver a few times on the podiums over the last few seasons in other leagues, and I can tell you right now that he would love to thank Flat Out Racing North America, of course, the sponsors GTR Simulators and Apex Racing, and of course he would always thank GT45 for the comms and High Prix for the graphics, and he would throw huge love out to the boys back at the clubhouse or the boys back home at Apex Racing. These guys put a lot of work in, these Apex guys, for these leagues that they come in. And again, that hard work starting to pay off for some of these drivers. So huge win number 2 on the season for this driver, and that's going to definitely put him back in the conversation at the top of the point standings coming into round 6 of Brands Hatch. Very interesting kind of race here tonight from these pro guys. A little bit of a slower race for us here than normal, but oh, Badass might be coming in the chat. There we go. Just give us 1 second here. Yeah, and we're on Discord, Badass, my guy. We're gonna let him come in and chat here. He's trying to get into the box right now. Just bear with, ladies and gentlemen. If they do have time to talk to us, we definitely like to let them speak for themselves. So, bear with me here. I'm just talking to the driver, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if they can... What's going on here? I don't know why this has become so difficult. Commentator is getting frustrated, ladies and gentlemen. We just like to have the drivers get their opportunity to talk, and it's not working the way this is set up right now. So We're going to be changing this moving forward because, well, I want the drivers to have their shot in the spotlight. You know, not every driver gets a chance to hit the podium on a regular basis, and when they do, they definitely deserve their opportunity to speak. So, commentators a little frustrated today. Secondary solution. No. I'm not trying to jump into a random chat. Where is he? All right, ladies and gentlemen, I can't get these guys on the PlayStation chat. I can't find them in my lists anymore. Like I'm beyond frustrated at this point. So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Third place, Jay Silver from Team Hypre. Method for Team THG and Apex Racing's Badass coming in first place. I hope everybody enjoyed the broadcast. Again, it was a slower race here tonight, but a very, very strategic one. This is probably one of the most strategic races we've seen all season long from any of the divisions of Flat Out Racing North America. And not surprised to see that it come from the Pro Division. Again, these guys are so closely paced together from qualifying that we're going to see a lot of really nose-to-tail racing all season long from these guys. So I apologize about the post-race interviews, not only to you guys, the fans, who've been sitting here very patiently waiting, but also to our drivers who just want to talk to you guys, the fans. It's one of their favorite parts of the broadcast. It's one of my favorite parts of the broadcast. So we do apologize. We'll get this sorted out. I apologize, of course, on behalf of GT45 Gaming, ladies and gentlemen, for the mix-up on the interviews. I'm not sure why all of a sudden it's become so difficult and doesn't want to work. But we'll get it sorted out. Streamer problems, right? Holiday season, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, we are mid-December here now. We're on what is it, the 10th, 11th, 12th today? We're almost midway into the month. I mean, we are like 12 days from Christmas here, ladies and gentlemen. That is absolutely crazy to see how fast a year has gone by. So with that being said, it is holiday season. It is Christmas party season for us that are out with companies and do that kind of stuff with our companies. So please, ladies and gentlemen, be smart out there. For us here in North America, of course, it's wintertime. There's lots of snow on the ground in many, many parts of the countries, and we need to make good, smart decisions out there. Please do not drink and drive, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you have a sober ride home and a safe way home so everybody gets to enjoy the holiday season with their families this season. We appreciate all the support here as well at Flat Out Racing North America and, of course, GT45 Gaming. And most importantly, ladies and gentlemen, stay winning. We love you so much. We appreciate your support, and you all matter. Have a good night. We'll be back tomorrow night for our Pro-Am 1 lobby, ladies and gentlemen.